Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother and Dad. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, and Pamela. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Parents, 1956, Part 101. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, August 23rd, 1956. Dear Mother and Dad, thank you for the sweet parcel that arrived for Pamela. As John says, the only thing that will make her keep still for a minute is to tell her you're making her pretty. She's feminine enough for that. As a matter of fact, she's wild about pretty blouse and my pretty sunsuit. And she hugs them to her and wants to wear them even when it's cold. Both Mark and John commented separately, the sunsuit's too small for her, but they aren't meant to cover much. John calls her a round head and round all the way down. She's so cuddly looking, but like an eel to hold, slippery. Tonight she was so ornery, John told her we were going to have 3 more children and lose her in the shuffle. All 3 were thrilled with the peak frames, but I was so happy to see the little blouse. Just what she needed. Very nice. Mark lost his dollar at the beach today and has been chastising himself. I should have held it tighter. We've been planning for some time to go to Lakeside, Ohio, next Friday for the Labor Day weekend. John's annual family reunion. All looking forward to it. Yesterday we had a letter from Chris Field suggesting that we come up to Lakeside, Ontario next Friday and bring Grandpa Smallshaw back for the first 2 weeks of September. What a coincidence. Then today I got a letter from Ada and Paul from Milwaukee saying they're planning to spend a couple of days in Cleveland and would like to come next Friday. John said Pam and I could go to the Canadian Lakeside, and Mark and he could go to Lakeside, Ohio, but he'd rather have us along. Chris said that maybe Grandpa could come with someone else if we can't go for him, so we're writing to suggest that they bring him down Monday or Tuesday, and we could drive him back on the 15th. Marnie and Don want him then. Things are starting to get wound up again. Last Sunday, Miss Kent, my former supervising teacher, called to say that she wanted to do something special for one of my pupils at Alexander Graham Bell School, and her mother said she'd like to see Miss Smallshaw. So on Tuesday, she and another teacher, Billy Burt and his mother, and 5 of my former pupils came out, and we went to the beach and had a picnic. How thrilled I was to see them, and what a happy day. They're wonderful youngsters, 12 years old now, and carry on a good conversation. Talk quite well. They've been on television and had visitors from all over the world this year. They inspected our house minutely, pretty bathroom, and pronounced me a good housekeeper. Mark said when they left that those girls should live with us. It would be nice to have them around more often. A wonderful day. So yesterday I took Peggy and her 2 babies to the beach for a picnic. Jimmy, John's cousin, is out of town, and today we went by ourselves. The kiddies do love the sand and water so much. Remember Jean that drove you from the airport? She had a premature by 7 weeks early baby boy, 3 pounds 4 ounces. Only 3 pounds 2.5 ounces today, but they hope he'll live. Anne and Wayne's baby is still in the hospital. They've given up on going to Alaska and bought a station wagon instead. We had 2 tables of bridge last Saturday night, a picnic first, and Mark and Pamela went to Jay's birthday party in the afternoon. 15 kiddies and about 10 adults outdoors. I went to the dentist the past 2 Saturdays, 3 fillings, and John and Mark go tomorrow at 8 o'clock a.m. We'll be looking for a word from Bud and Doris soon. Still would like an idea for a gift. I'd like bath bubbles again. All out and have learned to like them and miss them now. I'm tired. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pam. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, September 28, 1956. Dear Mother and Dad, thank you for the birthday bath bubbles and socks for the children. The cookies were in crumbs, but they enjoy them. We're anxious for news from Bud and Doris. Hope everything goes fine. It seems as though I was never quite ready for my babies to come, and most everyone else seems to be ready and waiting long before. I guess it was because I always felt so much better before they came than after, too. John's decision on going to New Zealand is being made tonight, so I'm anxious to hear. Grandpa was here for 2 weeks. He certainly is healthy for his age. We took him to the Lake Erie, and through the zoo and the art museum and hearing and speech center and over to school and down to Sandusky and to Marion, Ohio, and to church. And he went to some neighbors that do weaving, and also when we went to do leaf printing. Pamela and Mark were rather ornery while he was here, or at least I felt they usually behaved better. He also stayed over Saturday night to hear and see Billy Graham, so he went back on the train on Sunday. John took him out to see the airport when Joan's Aunt Nell left. Grandpa made us a very nice sidewalk out of stones that we had around to the back. He also dug around all the bushes and the house and garage and raked. Really kept busy. He seemed to enjoy the yard. Said it was the best part about our house. After Grandpa left, we went down to John's great-grandparents' 66th wedding anniversary. They took movies, too. Over 50 relatives there. A beautiful big cake. Last weekend, the folks looked after Pamela and Mark while we went to Cincinnati to the JC State meeting. John gave a couple of speeches at the banquet and was quite active, and we'd both been so busy. I'd been out every night for a week, so we were both too tired to go to the dance. We'd planned to celebrate my birthday. I have bridge, board meetings, JC Auxiliary, junior women's, and teach Sunday school. I turned down another chairmanship at church. We have a dinner and bridge Saturday night. I enjoyed Marion's letter. Haven't had a letter from her in a year. Bonnie's back in Winnipeg. Johannes is expecting her 4th child. Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan's 26th grandchild. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. P.S. John is going to New Zealand. Very nice of Mrs. Steele. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, October 11th, 1956. Dear Grandma and Grandpa Smallshaw, congratulations on the grandson and heir. We were certainly pleased to get your letter and the card from Bud and Doris at the same time. Very sorry that she had so much trouble and hope that by now she's feeling somewhat better. I'd love to have seen Bud's face. I'm sure he was thrilled. So nice that they got their boy, Brian, first, especially for Grandpa and Great-Grandpa. Once you have a boy, you can relax. Then, too, it's awfully nice for a girl to have a big brother. Mark takes such good care of Pamela. She wouldn't even play outdoors when he was sick. It's so nice that they have a nice new convenient house and equipment. Bud was always such a home lover. Who will be helping Doris? Mrs. Irwin? It's a good thing I didn't get the pretty pink quilted nylon quilt. I was so tempted, but the blue wasn't as pretty a shade. Have so many things to get and so little time. My passport arrived today. The fellow stayed up until 2 o'clock a.m. getting the photos ready, and now we have to get visas, and I have to get a re-entry permit. Also Saturday, vaccination, and of course clothes and the kiddies ready. John's been so busy. His picture's in the newspaper again tonight. He presented Judge Hoover an award, and yesterday was at the community chess luncheon and presented award to the high school speech contest winner. He's made addresses at both affairs and at so many meetings and had so many compliments on his unusual sense of humor and speaking ability. One of society's top brass came up and said, "Young man, what business are you in?" and guessed he was either a clergyman or a lawyer because of his speaking ability. He goes so much and has to work so many evenings, it's got to the place that it's a real treat to be home together an evening. We just aren't anymore. I've just given up my bridge club and all church groups except teaching in the nursery. I hated to, but I was so exhausted in Cincinnati from going to meetings all the time that decided I just do what I have to do, my community service chairmanship and JC chairmanship. How do you like the leaf printing? I've been doing 200 informals to sell for funds for the Junior Museum. Last Friday, the Senior Chamber of Commerce asked that we fly to Australia after the International Congress in New Zealand and attend the Olympics, but we don't know if we can work that out. Dick Stevens said, "Next you'll be going all around the world and we'll never see you again." It's only $300 more to fly around the world. Our trip costs $1,500 to $2,000 each. So I really think John ought to do that and I stay home, but he feels I should go. We leave here Saturday morning, November 3rd, and fly to San Francisco, then stop in Hawaii and the Fiji Islands, then New Zealand. We also have several days in Hawaii at the Waikiki Hotel on the way back. We're only allowed 40 pounds of luggage each and have to have a couple of formals. Don't know what in the world to wear going. It'll be spring in New Zealand. I guess I haven't written since Mark's been so sick. 2 weeks ago he was just awfully sick. Temperature went up to 104.7 degrees, and we thought, the doctor and John, it was flu. We're giving him drugs for that. Then he got chills, and by Monday he started choking. I got the doctor over about 11 o'clock p.m. Monday, and it was tonsillitis and adenoids swollen, so she gave him a double shot of penicillin. He seems okay, except that he now seems to have a kidney infection. Goes to the bathroom every 5 minutes, it seems. We're all going to the doctor Saturday. John was elected president of his class alumni at Oberlin, so has meetings out there now. We're going out for homecoming. The folks are taking the kiddies and want us to spend the weekend since it will be our last. This Saturday night, the Duffs are having a party in Akron. You can keep the clipping I sent. I tried Mark's last winter coat on him, and it's like a jacket. The hem comes around his hips. He's grown so tall. Pamela is just so sweet now, really growing up. She loves to color and cut and plays with plasticine. She's a real stripper. Takes her shoes and socks off and hat off on quite chilly days. She wants a baby brother so badly, and every day tells me that Daddy will bring him home from the store. Mark tells her, "No, Mommy has to have one in her tummy." And he feels if I eat enough iron pills, I'll get one. He thought maybe Uncle Bud would let baby Brian come to live with us. Good night. Love to you all. John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history if this interests you, finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, photographs, family movies and videos, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive. You might consider, checking out our website, Adventures in History, with Peter J. Ray at peterjray.com. So far, we've made 656 history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. There's a donate feature. You might consider, making a donation so that we can continue making these videos. You also might consider checking out our podcast, Adventures in History, at This Anchor FM Peter Ray. If you live in Metro Manila, Philippines, and are looking for a high school, you might consider Restless Educational Center. Restless is located in San Juan, Metro Manila, Philippines. At Restless, we specialize in helping young people who have had difficulty in the larger traditional high schools. It's more than a school, it's a warm, supportive community and a family-type environment. And the website is restless.education, RESALEST. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care. And I'll see you next time.